Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for staying awake and joining us this afternoon. I know it's very warm, so you're all doing very, very well. My name is Olly Samways. I'm Sales Director at Westcotec, and I'm joined by John Benger from Talent. He's the BDM. I will also mention I'm the council member and director of the Institute of Highway Engineers at IHE. I've been in industry now for 15 years, and when I first joined, when I was 18 years old within industry, they were a massive help to me. So it's nice to see all these apprentices around. And I really recommend going and speak to whoever's on the IHE stand today about what you can do in your professional development. This is the second year I presented now, so I presented last year, and there's been some quite big changes in the world of Westcotec. I will just briefly come on to who we are because we don't have long, and there's a lot that I know John wants to say. I'm not picking him up or anything. So yeah, Westcotec, we're based in Norfolk. We manufacture a range of intelligent traffic safety systems, innovative systems. So this is anything from basic speed signage to more advanced flood warning signage, overheight vehicle signage detection. We're a made in Britain accredited business, so we manufacture in Norfolk. We're an employee-owned company as well. So there's 23 of us that actually own and run the business. And we are 25 years old next year. So yeah, big milestone for us. We have about 17,000 pieces of equipment across the UK, and that's ever growing. So yeah, really big. I mean, we have a stand on the right-hand side over here. So if you want to know a bit more about us, please come by and have a chat, because I'm very conscious of time. We reinvest around about 25-30% of our profits back into R&D every year, and this allows us to really innovate and kind of lead the market on certain products. So the one you can see there, we kind of launched last week. It's called a Zebra Nova. So it's for zebra crossings. It's a illuminated traffic pole with a flashing beacon on top, which you can see on the stand. Obviously, our technical team get very excited about reinvesting profits because they get to play with new kit and technology. And there is something I'll come on to around connected vehicles that's quite exciting that we're involved with at the moment as well. It used to be standard radar activated signage that we predominantly sold across the UK. So this would be anything that would kind of activate towards an oncoming vehicle, which has now moved away to more advanced technology such as thermal cameras to look at junctions. So if there's certain vehicles waiting on areas, we give up different messaging. So it's all around a kind of behavioural change rather than just a bog standard messaging sign. So last year I spoke about the thermal junction, which we installed into Durham in 2018. It was our first junction we used with thermal cameras to actually look at vehicle movements and positions to bring up messaging. Because we're innovative and we have a team that's quite forward thinking, we got into a position of we would kind of create something for a customer, move on to the next one and never really shout about it. So this was something we installed in Durham, it was very successful, then moved on to the next project and never really spoke about it in a big way. It all had data led, this was as well, so it was collecting data since 2018. And what we established was, since it was installed to now current day, there's been no reported collisions since. Whereas the previous 12 months, there was a fatality and numerous collisions and incidents at this location. So we ended up entering that for a few awards last year, and we won a Highways Award for it as well, which we're very, very proud of, being a small kind of family-run Norfolk business. And yeah, it still has the same effect. And on the back of this, since the awards, there's a lot more being implemented in the next 12 months, which I can't really talk about at the moment, but you will see that hopefully next year when I get to present again. Heathrow was another customer of ours where we had some quite innovative technology. So they had average speeds well into the 40 and 50 mile an hour around their perimeter roads. And they tried all sorts of different methods, and it got to the point of looking at enforcement. But again, very expensive for the amount of road they had around Heathrow. So we had come up with something called an automated speed watch camera at the time, used for speed watch groups. And what that does is it takes an image of overspeed vehicles, saves it onto the camera, mostly for speed watch groups. But what we did was we kind of engineered it so that it went to an online portal so Heathrow could monitor the information, and also the Met Police. So as it was private land, if you like, they were able to revoke parking permits. So if they were repeat offenders or really high speeds, they were able to actually target these people that were causing issues. So they have around 75 pieces of kit, signage and cameras around their perimeter roads, constantly monitoring. Their speed limits were 40 mile an hour. The average speed came down to about 39.9. It was so effective, they now changed all of their speed limits to 30. So around the whole perimeter roads are 30 mile an hour, and averages are around 28, 29 miles an hour. So for us, an amazing kind of case study around what can be done using this kind of technology. And this also won an award last year, ITS UK award as well. So yeah, another great one for us. Talking about next steps and kind of where we think the future lies. So the videos here are taken from a Department for Transport day. We were involved with a demo day at UTAC test round. And we have a module that we can now fit into any of our intelligence signage. So the one that has real kind of detection, such as pedestrian, cyclists, flooding, height detection. And there's an Android Auto app that we can run in the vehicle, and that will actually speak messaging in vehicle. So this is both display on a map and also an audio alert as well. So the top left one, or top right, sorry, is a flood alert sign. So we had our roadside water detector, if you like, that was measuring water height in real time. And when we got to a certain height, we were able to turn the sign on, which also sent a message to Android Auto, which then spoke in vehicle to say, warning, flood ahead, road closed, different messaging. Bottom right is pedestrian crossing, so zebra crossing. And when we detect a pedestrian using thermal camera or any other means, it actually speaks to vehicle before crossing point as well. So it will say, warning, pedestrian road, slow down. So it's almost a supplementary system at the moment we see from just going on from bog standard LED signage to now having this solution as well. Yeah, there's a range of different things. I mean, again, it's probably best you come and talk to us after about specifics, because as I said, there's 18,000 bits of kit around here that can be brought on to this kind of solution. A little bit on Westcotec. So this is an online platform that we have for all of our data collection from our equipment. So everything has the means to collect some kind of information, whether it be vehicle speeds, traffic flows, water height, ANPR, the whole lot. So it used to be something that was connected by somebody with a tablet or some kind of on-site device. Now everything's remote, so you can sign into it from a web browser, look at all the information, and it's all there for you. So this is anything from average speeds for traffic to get to heights and even the flooding. So Environment Agency actually reference our roadside equipment on their website as well. So what we mainly here for, that was a bit of a brief on that, but we went into partnership, you may have seen, with Talent, who are a critical infrastructure maintenance company, and they cover the whole UK. And for us, it's a big deal. I'm sure hopefully it will be for you as well, but for us it is. We're a very small team, whereas they're 4,000 staff, I think you are? Yeah. We're around 4,000 staff, and a big network of maintenance providers across the UK. So as a small team based in Norfolk, obviously geographically it's quite difficult for us to keep up with demand, shall we say. So this is a way of enabling us to allow us to keep expanding and growing and just maintaining, looking after all this infrastructure kit that we've got across the country. So I won't take up too much of it. I think, John, if you want to take over.
Sure.
Where you go?
Yeah. What's next? Here you go in. Hello, everyone. Thank you for Olly for inviting me up today. So, Talent, just as a brief overview, we do critical infrastructure maintenance across rail, roads, national highways, even defence and some government contracts and even the Houses of Parliament. Specifically on the traffic side, we maintain about 9,000 traffic signal controllers in the UK. It's about 30% of that is our own Talent controller. Roughly 30% Unix and 30% SWAR code kit as well. So we kind of cover everyone's kit. We're pretty good with the technology on that. We've got over 200 technical field staff specifically to the traffic side of the business. So we haven't got 4,000 people running around in vans. It's not quite that many. And we're also a gold HERS accredited contractor. So from a safety point of view, you can't get any better than that in the UK. All that is done with 32 local authority clients. We cover 1/3 of TfL, and we also maintain for 4 regions on the National Highway network. And what does that all mean in terms of the relationship with Westcotec? So when we're talking about traffic signals, we are talking about critical infrastructure, how we get our kids to school, how we get to work, how we move our freight around the country. Everything goes through the road network or traffic signals along the way. And VMS and VAS really is part of that, because especially on the VAS side, whether it's floods or as you were saying with the Durham project, it's because there's been some RTAs or issues with public safety. So they're there. And a lot of the time, like Ollie said, their team will go in, they'll do that bit, and then it's kind of left. And it's not migrated over onto the local authority maintenance contract. They get covered over by foliage. They're not necessarily cleaned all the time. And then you get problems with the lifespan of these products. So what we're hoping to do, Ollie and the team do a great job of making products that have, probably a shelf life in the region of 20 years. Yeah, 20 years in the field already. What we're looking to do is not only extend that life cycle, but also within those signs, the older ones, we have the option for retrofitting to be able to monitor those signs. That means we can also start bringing the data off. And then, as Ollie was saying, with the flood monitoring, all these assets that we can get data from, we can start filtering that into our smart city platforms, which means we can start building that into transport management platforms. So from a local authority point of view, data is key for how they're going to manage traffic through their network. And then from a safety critical point of view, you're serving your communities. Now, with a lot of the work that Ollie and his team do, it's with the local parish councils and district councils rather than necessarily the county council. Our work is generally done with the county council. So what we're hoping to do is kind of meet in the middle, bring those two together, start getting those disparate systems that Ollie and the team have been installing onto the network, and we start getting better data and better service for local authorities. I don't know if you've got any further input on that.
I couldn't have said it better myself, John. Thank you. We're on the right of the stage over here, so please do come by and have a chat about anything you've heard here. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you very much. Cheers.